Hey everyone, welcome back to SnowRunner. It's been a few weeks. I've been making other videos, but today we're getting back into things. We may as well go on a little bit of a scouting adventure with our international scout because that's what it was made for. Let's try to get to the top of the hill, and maybe the North and South Peak are calling our name today. So today our topic of discussion is actually YouTube itself, and by extension my channel. I figured I'd let you guys in on some secrets of behind the scenes on how things work here, and I wanted just to talk about some of my ideas for the future. And I mean, I do this all the time where I'm like, hey, let's talk about my channel, but really it's one of the things that's always forefront in my mind, and it's very hard to talk about anything else when I'm making a video for my channel on my channel. Now, if you're not familiar with this format, it is basically SnowRunner, except I talk about something other than the game most of the time. I am playing the game, it's not just gameplay, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We're gonna try to get some stuff done in game and get some discussion done in real life. So if you're interested in this, be sure to like this video and subscribe, as well as comment below if you want to add to the discussion. I pretty much read every comment on these videos. They're not usually that many comments, but yeah, hit me up down there if you have something interesting to add. So a while ago I made a video and I was a little bit preemptive about this, talking about how my channel was about to hit 10 million views. And I say preemptive because this was months ago, and the channel hit 10 million views literally like 2 weeks ago, or maybe even last week. I didn't actually track the exact time that it did, but we're over 10 million views now. I believe I'm somewhere like almost getting to 10,100,000, something like that. But yeah, time goes by quickly, and I've had this channel since 2014, but it's only really been successful since like 2018 or so, maybe 2019, but like around that time, that's when things started to take off. So it's been like 4 or 5 years of success on YouTube. Success being a relative term. Success is in people actually watching these videos. And the channel has hit 10 million views, which is, it sounds pretty crazy, and I mean it is in a lot of ways. Let's grab this quest here, by the way. I'm not, well, actually this is the quest I'm currently doing, is it not? Let's go up this little bunny trail and see where things go. But yeah, 10 million views. A ton has changed in that time. There were a couple like catalyst videos, I would say, that changed things for me, where I had previously just done gameplay. Oh, let's not risk it. I had previously just done like gameplay videos where I was just running through games in their entirety. So I was playing games like Race Driver Grid, and I was playing Dirt 3. I finished those games. Grid Autosport, I played through that on the channel. And it was just stuff like that, doing full playthroughs of games, and pretty much exactly what I'm doing now, where I was talking about random stuff going on in my life, almost like a diary while playing games. And wouldn't you know it, nobody wanted to listen to my diary, so nobody watched those videos until I started making automation stuff, and then that changed for the, well, better, I would say. So basically what happened is my content changed. All of a sudden I was doing automation BeamNG videos, poorly, I might add, at the beginning. And then it changed again when I started to upgrade my setup and started to just get better at what I was doing. And I think it's accumulated, or yeah, that's not really what the word I was thinking of, but it's come together now at the end of this. Well, it's not really the end, is it? But things have ended up at a point where I'm happy with the quality of the videos. Especially the recent ones, I think have been very high quality, and the viewership reflects that. And yeah, I'm proud to be making these videos. I used to be really worried about telling people that I did YouTube, but these days I don't matter, or I'm not as worried about it. It doesn't matter as much to me. I really am passionate about these things, but and it is awkward to talk to people in real life about YouTube, but it's a lot less awkward when you actually like the videos you make. So I wanted to give you guys some perspective on what 10 million views actually means. That's a lot of views for a smaller channel like mine, but it's because some of my videos kind of blew up. Some of them have like, there's one video that almost has 500,000 views on this channel, and that alone is like a significant portion of that 10 million. But if you're curious, what does that mean financially? What does that mean in terms of money? So the equation, and this is for Canadian dollars, by the way, I don't think this would work for American dollars, but the equation roughly is 0.5% of the total views of a video is how much money is actually made from them. So let's say I had a video come out and it hit 1 million views. And it was, let's say it was a good video in the sense that people watched a lot of it. This is a pipe dream for me, but it's something I do think about sometimes. I would make about $5,000 on $1 million, or $1 million, but 1 million views video would net me about $5,000, assuming it was over 8 minutes, assuming it had like optimal ads, about 5 grand. So naturally you would think 10 million views means about $50,000, which does sound like quite a lot, but in real life it doesn't quite translate that way because not every video is that high performance video. So over the course of the last 5 years on YouTube, I have not made $50,000. Even though I've spent hundreds of hours on these videos, it's not been worth it. Honestly, I could have been working at McDonald's over the last 5 years for the same amount of hours, and I would have been a net positive more than what I'm making from ads. Now, obviously, that's just ads. And again, I'm not telling you this to complain. I just wanted this to be informative. But that's just ads. That's just how they work. You know, this looks like a really straight shot down this cliff, but I don't think I can actually do that and come away successfully. So we're going to have to go down and this way. This is the right way. So that kind of money does not include sponsorships. If you see a video that has 1 million views, you can kind of assume that assuming it's an over 8 minute video and all the other assumptions I'm making, it's probably made about 5 grand, and then whatever their sponsorship is and all that stuff is separate. But I think that kind of gives you an idea of what to expect on YouTube. It takes a long time to really make any income. To put it in perspective, I think in order to be sustainable on YouTube, my channel would probably, oh jeez, oh no. Boys, the Scout's taking a little bit of a tumble. Although I think we might be able to get out of this. Easy peasy. Okay, I'm going to repair real quick. And again, oh no, I don't think we're going to survive this one. This is what happens when you get a vehicle that's so high. Also, this is probably the worst I've ever fallen in SnowRunner. I don't think I've ever seen damage like this before. I'm surprised it didn't actually get more damage by that. Wow, let's set the winch point there. I'm surprised the engine will still start with this setup, but hey, we lived. That's beautiful. That's okay, we're really screwed, but as long as I can get to the base here and not take too much more damage, then we should be fine. Okay, you know what? I'm going to recover. There's no way out of this. So as I was saying before, I interrupted myself multiple times by falling down a cliff. Multiple times. Literally 3 times I fell down various cliffs and then ended up in a ravine, and now we're here. But let's go for that second tower. Honestly, I know that it's an interesting thing to talk about, because I've never really quantified this number before in my mind. I've always thought like, okay, once I reach a certain subscriber milestone, I'll be happy with my channel and that sort of thing. But financially speaking, if I'm ever going to be successful on YouTube, I need to get like 1 million views a month, pretty much. So that would be approximately 12 million views a year, and that would be assuming that the videos that are put out are ones that maintain good quality ads and they continue to earn money over time. Like it's a very interesting thing, the way that it works. Let's get into this actually, it's kind of deep. When making YouTube videos, there are several things to consider. One of the most significant ones is staying power. YouTube kind of rewards your videos for being like initially successful, but what you really want is videos that will constantly be viewed by people. Like they have staying power in the sense that people actually want to see them years down the line. So if you make a video on a topic that's very like here and now, something like drama or whatever, nobody's really going to watch those videos in the future because that drama's over, that drama's past. But if you make a video on how to fix a car or something like that, like for instance, I made a video on how to do an oil change on a RAV4, which is a video that is useful, right? And people will be looking that up over time. And so what happens is, and what has happened, is that video has become successful over time when it initially wasn't, because people are looking it up. They're trying to learn how to do these oil changes, and those cars are, I mean, they're still around, right? They're getting more and more popular. So people are doing their own maintenance and they're searching it up, and then they see my video. So something that wasn't initially popular is actually successful in the long term because it was made more for the long term than it was for the short. And that's kind of the weird, like, difficulty with YouTube, where you have to balance long and short. There's just a certain class of videos that work better long term than the short term. Reviews are an example of things that can be both long term and short term, because short term people want to see what the latest game reviews as, but then long term people want to see what that game that's on sale reviews as, or whatever it happens to be. That sort of video works in all cases in that way. Same thing with car reviews, if you want to get a bit more practical to this kind of stuff that I talk about. Car reviews are useful because, oh man. It's a good thing I put the electric winch on this thing, otherwise we would not be able to do anything. My automation videos are kind of a mid point in that area. Like, I think that sometimes I do make them to be successful in the short term, but certain titles and certain ways of like making these videos can also make them last long term as well. Especially outrageous builds, people want to look that stuff up no matter what year it is. And even if it's an older version of the game, it doesn't really matter. If I do a video on an update, then that's a short-term video. But if I do a video on a weird build that kind of stands the test of time, something stupid like a weird engine setup, then it can last. An example of one of my videos that's more short-term is the most powerful car that I've made 2023 or 2022 or 2021. I think I've done one of those every year. But that video really only lasts a year because it has a year in a title, right? 2024, people aren't going to be looking up what the most powerful car in 2023 was. They're more interested in what's the most powerful in 2024. So say I wanted to get that 1 million views a month. That's kind of a magic number on YouTube in my perspective, because I think that sort of lends to a reasonable income. It's, what's that, like 70,000 a year, 60,000 a year based on my numbers. Yeah, it would be 60,000 a year based on my numbers. That's not a bad income. That's not enough to support my family. I make more than that at my real job. But with sponsors and stuff, I think that can be doable. And, oh jeez, that could be the potential, like, full-time thing. Also, that does not count join button. That also does not count Patreon. Launching this, by the way, let's just take a look. Is this a gun range that I'm looking at over on the side? I don't know, but I'm interested to check it out. And it's a radio tower. I was way, way off. Wow. Okay, let's go for that second king of the hill up there. Another radio tower. But the best way to do it is to have a lot of videos that are sort of long-term, because you're essentially investing in the future. Because if your videos are set for the long term, there's stuff that lasts and there are things that people will always want to watch, then that means that your newer videos don't have to do as well in order for you to continue to make that steady income. Like, for big creators, I would think that the majority of their income comes from their back catalog, essentially. Whereas for me as a smaller creator, the majority of my income comes from my new videos, and my back catalog is really just there as like a very small, stable support piece. It's not worth that much though, not compared to the new stuff. As an example, one new video of mine will likely make more money in a month, in the first month that it's put out specifically, than my entire back catalog will that same month. So it's, yeah, it's a little bit difficult, because if I stop posting, then that's it, really, for me. You ever wonder why some big channels slow down, they don't post as much? It's because they don't need to. Like, they make enough money just on the videos that they used to, or that they previously made, and they don't need to post any new stuff anymore because their old stuff is still getting viewership. That's what happens when you make videos for the long term. It's like long-term investments or long-term planning. But these are the difficult things that really only come with experience on YouTube, and I think that sort of works with a lot of social media platforms. The reality is a lot of I'm giving myself away. But a lot of the content that comes out these days, especially on TikTok, even YouTube Shorts, to an extent, you don't really see shorts that are older as often. It's very throwaway content. It's stuff that doesn't stick around, and that makes it difficult to be sustainable on those platforms or using those platforms. To put it in perspective, I have made like 5 or 6 YouTube shorts. In total, they probably have 10,000 views, maybe a little bit more than that, and I have made 50 cents. That is significantly less than you would make on an actual video, and not at all worth it. If you're an exclusive shorts creator, I don't know how the heck you can be sustainable unless you're getting trillions of views. Also, oh man, I suck. Are you kidding me? I don't think that there's a way out of this. Why is there water there? What is going on? I totally thought I could reach that tree, but I can't. I'm gonna have to go backwards, that is, and probably try to latch onto this tiny tree. Boys, I have cooked it. We're absolutely stuck at the moment, which is frustrating, but we're good. I think I can make it. I'm just gonna have to do that all again. Deja vu. I have been in this place before. Yeah, I'm I'm redoing it. It's okay though. That's what happens when you screw up and fall down a mountain. I did not think that this entire video would be this objective, but apparently that's exactly what's happening. Don't forget, the numbers I'm telling you on YouTube stuff are pre-tax as well, and if you're a small business, depending on the country that you live in, depending on what your expenses are, you probably pay upwards of 40% taxes here in Canada, so rest in peace that income, just so you know. One of the things is YouTube expenses are pretty minimal for the most part. You can charge your house and stuff to try and lower your taxes, but there have been years where I've spent like I've had to lay down a fairly large check for taxes, which is kind of nuts. It has definitely been something I was not expecting, but it is what it is. You gotta pay what you gotta pay. So keep that in mind. These are raw numbers. This is not net. You also got to pay taxes on sponsorships, and that's difficult sometimes. You got to make sure you keep the tallies and keep the good spreadsheets. There's a lot of stuff that goes into the back end of YouTube that maybe many people don't really realize. Like for me, I'm a single operation. I do everything myself. I also do my own taxes, so I very much do everything, and I keep track of everything, because if I don't, I'm gonna get an audit, and then you know what happens? I'm behind bars, boys. Or more like I'd end up having to pay a fine. That's much more likely. But yeah, if YouTube was to ever become a full-time thing for me, I would want that sort of consistency and that sort of cushion, I guess, of videos that are constantly gaining views, constantly keeping up that back end, so I'm not as pressured on my new stuff. Because if you're pressured on your new stuff, that's just a lot of anxiety, especially if you're full-time doing this kind of thing. If you're a creator and you're a tiny creator, then I definitely I'm not trying to scare you away from YouTube, but I would just want to say it's important to keep your reality in check of what to expect and what you can expect long term. Because for me, back when my channel first kind of shot off and was getting big, I was like, man, this could be it. This could be my chance. I'm going to be full-time. And then it just did not pan out even slightly, because it just I don't have anywhere near enough viewership to be able to get to the place that I need to be. To give you some more numbers examples, you can actually look these numbers up on Social Blade, by the way, so I'm not exactly revealing any deep, dark secrets. But my channel in August, which was not a very particularly big month for me, but my channel got about 50,000 views in August. That was an entire month, 50,000 views. I need an extra 950,000 views in order to get to the place that I want to be. Just to put that into perspective. Okay, so before anybody tries to say that I'm like complaining and stuff, that is really not the goal of this video. It's easy to complain about these things, especially when you really want them. It's like, man, I really want to do YouTube full time. I want to be in business for myself. I want to make videos that people like and people watch, that millions of people watch. Like, who wouldn't want that, right? That's the dream. for a YouTube creator. But I feel like this is more just an interesting thing to talk about, because not that many creators will tell you these kind of numbers and this kind of back end. But I really like numbers. You probably noticed. There are reasons for that. There's a reason I went into engineering. Quantifying this stuff and making it numerical really adds a dimension to it in my head. Like, when I think about that number that I'm looking for, it's like, this seems a little more probable now that it's quantified. At least that's how I see it. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking about a lot recently. That's been on my mind, and I don't think that it's been a stress. It's more just been like maybe I should consider these numbers a little bit more, and maybe be a little bit more proactive about trying to reach them, because what's the point of a goal if I'm not even trying to get there? Also, King of the Hill boys. Who's next? I'm going to take the direct line to this watchtower. I'm just going to go for it. There's only one way to go here, and that is down. Also, okay, this thing is down, so I can't grab it, but I kind of want to. We could definitely use another vehicle in the fleet. Old Scout is about to take a beating. That's the whole point of it, though. Drop her down. Okay, that's just a little damage. So one of the ways, I mean, you're probably wondering, I already talked about this a little bit, but one of the ways that creators sort of offset this, oh jeez, that damage. I gotta be quieter, my daughter's sleeping. But one of the ways that creators offset these sort of things is, and it's really how they take the pressure off. And I do this too, because I have join button memberships. I also have a Patreon. I don't have a lot of patrons or a huge join button or YouTube supporter group or anything like that, but it basically guarantees at least a little bit of income. So it doesn't matter how well your videos do, you can put them out anyways and be guaranteed to have something that month. That's really the point of it. So it's like, say I was full-time on YouTube and I had a month that I didn't reach that $1 million, or 1 million, not dollar, but 1 million view goal. What am I going to do, right? It's like, uh-oh, my livelihood is on the line here. What should I do? And the answer is, community support is really what makes the difference. And, oh my goodness. I'm pushing the physics to the limits in this game right now. But there's a really good reason why a lot of creators have Patreons and a lot of creators do sponsorships. And it's a safety net, is basically what it is. If you don't have those things, then you're completely reliant on ad income, and that is dangerous. That is sketchy. That is something that you don't want to be at. Hey, we made it to the road in one piece. That was a heck of a fall. I can't even look all the way up there, and I basically took no damage. Well, it still works at the end of the day. Alright, let's go for it. Let's finish this thing off. I decided to repair myself, but the damage on the body still remains. And engine, and every other piece of me. Oh my goodness. No. Oh no. There's no trees here. Oh no. Yes! I did it! Little somersault here and there. That's how you get through things, boys. That's how it's done. Let's try to actually finish this thing off for once. Do it successfully. So at the end of the day, as we're approaching the end of this video, and also the end of the line here, if I can actually get to it. Oh man, the winch is being used and abused on this. Okay, low range is probably the best option. I'm not taking the preferred route here. I'm taking the direct. This is the crow flies method. But let's wrap things up. At the end of the day, I don't expect to be able to go full-time on YouTube, and it's a dream of mine. It's something I wish for, but I think the reality is that my content would have to change, and there's pretty much no way that I can get there otherwise. Automation BeamNG content is not sustainable long term. I am trying to branch out a little bit. You'll see that more on this channel, but it's going to become I don't know. It's going to become a challenge if I ever wanted to really pursue it like that. So let's launch this observation and see what things look like up here. More Michigan map to uncover, more things to do in this game, and I'm excited to do all of them with you. Thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. We got a lot of stuff left. We still have a lot of map left, so don't worry. There's a lot of things left to fix and do in this game. And I still have some more vehicles to pull out of. What's with these Kodiak C70s, man? They're always stuck in the water. Who's driving them into the water? What is this conspiracy? Anyways, see you again next time. Thanks for watching.